Good morning. Welcome to Thursday Morning Thoughts. I'm Erin, aka Forbesy, and this morning I wanted to talk a bit about relationships. So I invited you earlier this week to look at who you invite into your life. So, who do you share your energy with? Who do you share your time and your space with? How does this impact you on a regular basis? Knowing that there's this idea that the 5 people we spend the most time with, we are the average of. So, taking that time to look at who you spend your time with, who are the main influences around you, whether this is physically, mentally, emotionally, through social media, through phone calls. With all of the technology we have these days, we have so many different ways to connect and so many different ways to be influenced and to influence each other. So, some of the most prominent influences in our lives may be people or groups that we have never had any physical, direct, like one-to-one contact with, which is kind of mind blowing when you think about it. But it's also those people who we spend the small moments day to day with. So, spouses, children, family, friends, coworkers. Some of these are people we choose to bring into our lives or keep in our lives. Well, I think actually that's an ongoing choice. And some are introduced to us through other means that we then choose how to navigate that connection with. As unless you are the person in charge of hiring, you generally don't choose your coworkers initially, but you do have control over choosing how you interact and how much time and energy you share with these people. And it's also, as I said, it's an ongoing choice to keep certain people in our lives. We sometimes get stuck in these ideas that's like, but they're family. And that is something I've often heard people around me say. And my thoughts at this point are, so what? I didn't choose them. And at this point in time, some of these people are not good for me. So just because they're family doesn't mean I'm going to have ongoing, constant interactions with them. It's not beneficial for me, and in the flip side of that, won't be beneficial for them either. There is no general benefit to keeping relationships with toxic people. So it's looking at the choices that you are making. Sometimes we can cut people out completely and we don't have to worry about that anymore. Other times this is not the option that's going to work best because it may impact other relationships, or it may just be a reality scenario where it's like, I can't 100% cut this person out of my life as much as it would benefit me to do so. So it's navigating that balance with things too, where it's like, okay, I'm going to love you from a little more of a distance. I'm going to only interact with you at group functions where it's out of respect to other people I care about to not make this an issue, or to not full out ignore you, because that's going to cause other things to go on that I don't need to deal with or create in that moment. So it's a lot of processing and looking at, I think, how you're being impacted and what you want from things. So it's, I think this is coming around to what I want to talk about a little bit too, is the most important relationship in our lives, which is the one with ourselves. And this is a key relationship that I think we all should be doing ongoing work with. Because if you're not looking after the relationship with yourself, it's that much harder to really look at the other relationships around you and the role that you play in things that are happening around you, within you, in your life, in your relationships, in your connections with other people. We always have a choice. This is something I saw a friend post about too, is being in this reactionary mode and being able this recently to step back and be like, wait a minute, I have a choice here. I do have options. I don't have to just like keep following this and keep going along with this. And I think when we get those little insights of and reminders, it can be greatly helpful. I know I've definitely been in that, just like following the steps, following the path that someone else laid out for me at different points in my life, where it's just like, well, okay, now it's like I graduated high school, so I go to university and I look for a job and I look for a partner and start making plans to get married and buy a house and have kids and etc., and hit a point where I was like, this is not actually what I want to be doing. This is not the relationship as it is that I want to keep living in. I don't want it to keep going this direction because this isn't working for me anymore. And being able to step back and see that and see this bigger picture and be very clear and authentic is hugely empowering. When you can be fully you and step up for you in that way, it's powerful and it's freeing, because you can hit that point where it's just like, fuck it, what other people think doesn't matter, because this is my life. These are the things I want to do. These are the things I want to achieve and I want to feel. And that's worth more than anything. Because it's like, I have this life to live, to make what I want of it. And I'm going to take the reins. I'm going to take back that power. I'm going to take back the respect for myself and the desires that I have, and know that I am worthy to seek this. I am worthy of seeking pleasure. I am worthy of seeking joy. I am worthy of aiming for the stars. And I am open to what this journey is going to look like, knowing that it is not going to be smooth, because life's not meant to be that way. We learn through failure. So being open to falling down, being open to things blowing up and getting up again and trying over. That was kind of a weird phrase, but trying again and doing things a little bit differently until we find the best way that works for us, and just keep repeating that, knowing nothing's going to be perfect, and everybody's definition of what would be perfect is variable anyway. So it's finding your own personal path, honoring your personal relationship with yourself so that you can honor the relationships you have with people around you and live your best life, whatever that means to you, because I can't tell you what your best life is. You are the expert in your world. You are the expert in your relationships. So you get to determine how they play out. You have this power, you have this control, if you're willing to take it, knowing that it comes with responsibilities and the, I don't know the word I want now, but the being open to all the positive and negative consequences of the choices you make. You will need to face those too. You can't take the power without the responsibility. It's just like, yeah, I'm going to own all of this and go forward with it. So yeah, those are my thoughts for this morning. I hope that you really take some time and take a look at the relationship that you have with yourself and the relationships that you have within your life and how they impact you, and make some conscious choices about what you want them to look like going forward, and take that step for your love of yourself and your love of this life and making it your own. Have a beautiful rest of the day and rest of the week, and we'll talk soon. Thanks for listening.